Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins, gonna move some crypto around for you guys, and as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions. I have a lot of fun stuff lined up for us tonight. Of course, we're gonna cover the news and a couple of stories about some, what we might call breaches, one about Apple and the other about Trezor. Spoiler alert, the Trezor wallet has not been compromised, but they did get their X account hacked. So it's quite an interesting story. We'll go over that. And then I've got some basic tips on securing your crypto wallets. I get a lot of questions. I get a lot of YouTube comments about some common issues. And then I also read a lot on Reddit about people who have claimed to have lost money or crypto, generally due to their own actions. Right? So I want to show you some basic tips and tools for securing your crypto and even like verifying your seed phrase. I know that sounds crazy to some people that may not be regulars with this, that are just new, but it's very important. So I'm going to cover that kind of stuff tonight. So it is the day after my birthday, and I got this shirt. It's a bright yellow, gold, I guess, for the Michigan Wolverines. I guess it's the University of Michigan or Michigan State. I think it's University of Michigan. We have two here in Michigan, and I get them confused because I'm not a big sports fan. But anyway, that's a birthday present. And then I got this belt, which is like the coolest thing ever. It is the first innovation in belt technology in a millennium. Right? Notice the buckle. It won't come into focus, will it? Oh, I'd have to do my... It looks like a regular belt, but there are no holes, right? And it's got these things in the back here, and it just goes in. You can kind of hear it. Cool, huh? And then you just lift the thing here. I'm on the wrong side, all right? Awesome, right? So it doesn't, the holes don't get worn out. You don't have to punch new holes. Pretty cool thing. So got some great stuff for my birthday. Also, I wanted to point out, I'm going to go over here. I wanted to point out that my son was born 11 years ago on my birthday, on my 50th birthday. So let's take a look at that day, if we can find it. That's it. Okay, we're going to have to, okay, there we go. That's me 11 years ago on my 50th birthday with my newborn son, right? And, oh God, can you guys even see this? No, you can't. We're on the wrong screen. Okay, let's get this. I can handle this. I think it should be here, right? Why is it not doing this? Okay, okay, I get it. I got this in the way. All right, here we go. That's me with my son 11 years ago. And let's see what we got. This is today. I can move this over here. This was yesterday. There we are. He loves his long hair. That's like one of the big decisions that he made in his life. That said, hey, this is what I want. And I was like, okay, you want your hair long, you know, grow your hair long. You just got to keep it combed, right? But he likes to throw it down in his face during pictures. All right. So I just wanted to point that out. It's quite a birthday, quite a thing, having a kid on your own birthday. It was pretty interesting. But anyway, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. P. Wizzle is here. He asked some questions about consolidating UTXOs, and that's another one that's like, what are we talking about here? But I'm gonna go through that a little bit for you guys that might be curious about that. It has to do with if you are accumulating Bitcoin on a regular basis, like dollar cost averaging, like you're buying $100 a week or $100 a month or however you're buying your Bitcoin. If you move it into your wallet every time you buy it on that regular basis, you're going to accumulate a whole bunch of transactions in your wallet, and your wallet will manage all of that sort of, but when there are a whole bunch of transactions that are being consolidated, if you've decided to move everything out or something like that, you're going to incur higher fees than if it were just one transaction. So we're going to talk about that tonight. It's not really something you need to worry about that much unless you are just like petrified of spending a little more extra money. It's someone compared it in the Reddit discussion to, look, you can clip coupons if you want to, or you can just shop like regular. It's that kind of decision, really. But a lot of people, that really worries them, but it's not a deal breaker, but it could be for some people. So we're going to talk about it. Let's see. Scott is here. Good. Aloha. And mahalos, I guess, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Always good to have Scott here. Hans Hannah 350. Kenny here early, as always. Good to have you. Thanks for the news. Sil, always a pleasure. Diatom Ranger. Joanne L, thank you for being here. Dan, good to have you. 26 days to the halving. Good stuff. Kelly P, always good to be here. She's happy. That's good. Or you could be a gentleman. Kelly is a name that could go either way, right? Diatom Ranger, I think I already said hello to you. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Frank Rodriguez. Christopher Thane from Australia. Amsterdam, Holland. Chonktown. Beer and popcorn. I have to wait till we're done, but I'm with you. Emmanuel, as always. Frank Rodriguez, I think I got you. Mark Schlossberg from Slovakia. Always good to have you here. Serious Crypto, I like that. Cool stuff. Capijot, good to have you. Feel you. I'm going to feed you your own heart. I don't know if I thought that was heartwarming there for a second, and then I was like, that sounds quite maybe verging on psychotic. But hey, if you can get my heart, then feed it to me. Let's see. Hi, that could be a spiritual thing. I don't know. Bobby, it's good to have you here. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for that. It makes sense to make large transactions rather than a lot of small transactions. That is true, but it will allow you to make large transactions. It will just consolidate all those smaller ones when you do it and charge you higher fees. So it's not like it's impossible to make large transactions. It's just that you end up paying more fees. So we'll talk about it. I don't have a tutorial on doing it, but we will poke around a little bit in the Sparrow wallet. Watching from the sidelines, that's fine. Tuning in from Philly. Cool. Good to have you. We're on the same time. We're in the same time zone. It's really weird. I'm in West Michigan, and I'm about as far west as you can get and still be on Eastern time. It's kind of weird. But yeah, West Michigan is on Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Can you use YubiKey to secure your wallet? Not really. I don't know that there are any wallets that really use two-factor authentication. That's more of a thing when you're logging into some sort of centralized service to protect your account from anyone being able to log in offline. Wallets really are kind of a different animal. They're usually, they're always local to your machine. So there's really, I don't know that you could apply two-factor on that. But it could be possible. It's just not sure that it really applies to crypto wallets. So I've said hello to everybody. Thank you it's 61. Did I might have said 60. I'm 61. My son is 11. Smash that like button. Thank you so much. Good to have you guys. Let's jump into the news. I got a lot of good stuff I want to go through tonight. So let's hit that news. Bitcoin slips to 64K. Right now, we're up around 65. We were over 65 earlier today. It's been kind of a holding pattern, but a little bit of a fluctuation within $1,000. It says 3.44 of a rise, but that's based on what the price of Bitcoin was exactly 24 hours ago, and that percentage will fluctuate. Even if we were to stay at 65 for like 2 hours, we would have that percentage fluctuate up and down because 24 hours ago, Bitcoin was fluctuating up and down. So it looks like it's up 3.58% from 24 hours ago, which it is, but even 24 hours ago, we were fluctuating. So, but this is the current market action on Bitcoin right now. This was written yesterday, actually. Wow, I didn't realize this article was so old, but we'll go ahead. Bitcoin fell below 63,000 during early U.S. trading Friday amid a broader crypto sell-off. And if you remember, we had a sell-off last week, and then it had dipped down to around 63 or 64, I think. And then we had the Fed come in, I believe, on Wednesday, or maybe it was Tuesday, and it caused a market jump up to like 67,000, but that was really kind of a fake bump based on a news event, right? Actually, Bitcoin wants to be down around 63, 64, 65 because it's consolidating from its, general pullback from the all-time high of 73,000. But we had that bump when the Fed came out with some comments that were considered dovish, which makes it good for risk assets. And so the stocks and gold and Bitcoin all pumped right after that. But then sanity returned, and then we're sort of still consolidating around this level that we're at now. That's just my personal 2 cents worth. Volatility in crypto markets continued Friday with Bitcoin tumbling below 63,000 at one point from 67,000, which, as I mentioned, was kind of a fake number based on the comments by Jerome Powell, the Fed board chairman, right? So really, we really shouldn't have been up there, right? They were just based on a quirky news event. It was just the Fed goosing the market in an election year. Right? So when we talk about, it fell from 67,000, well, it was 67,000 for like a couple of hours maybe, or, maybe 12 hours it was up in that area and then pulled back. A modest rebound since has taken place back to the current 64,000, which, as I mentioned, we're at 65 actually right now. Down 3.7 over the past 24 hours. The sell-off ripped through the market with the broad CoinDesk 20 index was lower by 4.4% over the same time frame, led by Layer 1 Network Solana's token Sol, declining more than 10% at one point. Right now, Solana is at 173 dollars per coin, which is up 2.91%. So Solana was down below 170, like it was around 160 something, but it's currently up. But as you know, Solana peaked up over 200, had been up or over 200 a couple weeks back, or a week ago, actually. We're going to talk about Solana tonight. But anyway, that's the kind of the market wrap up. Let's go over here. This is a feel-good article. Bitcoin price clear for new highs as GBTC outflows drop to 170 million. Let's see here. Bitcoin could already be seeing momentum turning as institutional Bitcoin outflows recede. The latest data from sources including United Kingdom-based investment firm Farside shows the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust losing just 170 million on March 22nd. The United States spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds, ETFs, have been at the center of attention for arguably the wrong reasons this week. Inflows have declined significantly versus the start of March, while GBTC, Christ of Cousin just subscribed. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Inflows have declined significantly versus the start of March, while GPTC outflows hit record highs, producing 5 consecutive days of net reductions in assets under management. The timing appears not to be random. Bankrupt crypto leader Genesis is rumored to have been selling its GBTC position throughout the week. Should this now have concluded, downward pressure on ETF trends could ease. Net flows out of Bitcoin ETFs dropped to 51.6 million yesterday, helped by a big slowdown in GPTC selling. Now, I wanted to, and you can read all of these articles. I've got them linked in my description. Check out the description. I've got an overview of what we're going to talk about, the agenda of things I want to cover tonight, a bunch of affiliate links. I know tax season is here, and I have some affiliate links for Coinly and CoinLedger, both really good tax software. You can evaluate them yourself. I believe that Coinly is based in Australia, if I'm not mistaken, but you can do U.S. taxes with them. And then CoinLedger, I'm not sure exactly where they're based, and I need to contact them about thank you for that donation. I need to contact them about the codes that they gave me when I did those videos. I believe Coinly had given me a 30% discount code, and CoinLedger had given me a 10% discount code, but I don't know if those are still working or not. But if you're interested in checking out these services, please feel free to use my affiliate links. And you don't have to buy anything, but if you do, I will get credit, and it helps me and helps the channel. Of course, we've got the regular affiliate links for Coinbase, which is my most trusted, and once again, thank you for that donation. It's my most trusted crypto exchange. There are a lot of exchanges out there. I could get affiliate links for all of them, but I do Coinbase because I feel it's best for beginners, and it's also US based, very above board, and they can handle large amounts of activity. Now, Coinbase has been known to have some hiccups during times of high activity, but by and large, it's probably one of the most robust crypto exchanges out there. Some people might disagree with me. So I do have an affiliate link for Coinbase, and then, of course, a whole bunch of hardware wallets that I've covered in videos. If you Google any of these hardware wallet companies with my name, CryptoDad, you will probably find a video on using those wallets. And, of course, we've got the news stories linked in case you want to read more into the stories that I'm covering. So this is the story I was talking about here. The prediction is that it's about time to get turned around. I wanted to also make a quick comment about the exchange traded funds. This is just my opinion. I might be wrong about this. I am not a financial advisor, but it is my take is that if there are a lot of people that are investing in exchange traded funds, they're probably part of a larger portfolio, maybe a small part of a larger portfolio that is usually being managed by a broker of some kind. Now, normal people, normal investors generally are not used to the high volatility of the crypto market. A normal investor will probably sell a stock or fund if it goes down by 20%. That's just common sense. So it's my take that with so many people out there invested in the Bitcoin ETFs, when we see periods of high volatility, there's going to be a snowball effect of people that are trusting their money managers to, trade out of an asset that has gone down by 20%, unless the asset manager is really familiar with the crypto market and is willing to, absorb that kind of volatility. I think we're going to see a lot of people, coming in and out of Bitcoin based on these large swings, just because, as I mentioned, a normal investor does not hang on to a stock or a bond or any kind of investment if it dips by 20%. I could be wrong about that, but that's sort of my take. So I think we are going to see, when we get market volatility, we're going to see a lot of selling in these ETFs, and of course a lot of buying back in when things go back up again. Anyway, I wanted to cover this article here. I didn't get a chance to research all of the ways to mitigate this, so I apologize. I am usually, when I talk about articles like this, I like to find out ways of mitigating it, because you are going to see in the mainstream news and in the crypto-based news, like Cointelegraph, you're going to see a lot of scary articles that are clickbait, in a sense that people are going to, oh my God, what's this about? They'll click these. These are not deal breakers. These are vulnerabilities, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be infected. You need to have malware on your computer for this to happen. Right? And there are ways of mitigating these risks, but I didn't do my full research. But anyway, here's the story. Apparently, the Apple M series chips, which are the processors, CPUs of modern Apple computers. We're talking about their desktops and their laptops. This has nothing to do with their phones, unless they use the M chips in their phones. I'm not sure that they do. I think they're just their CPUs for their computers. Shows how much I know about Apple computers these days. I used to sell them back in the 90s. Love Macs, they're cool and everything, but I don't use them anymore. I'm more of a PC person now. A new un-patchable vulnerability in Apple's M series chips was discovered, potentially allowing hackers access to extract secret keys and encrypted data from Macs. Long story short, too long to read. What do they call that? TDLR, or too long don't read, whatever they call it, TLDR. Basically, the way the processor has a lot of optimization in it, and part of what it does is sort of try to anticipate the next instruction and then put it in its cache. A cache is a small area of memory where it can keep instructions that is quicker to pull for the CPU to pull an instruction from cache than it is memory. I mean, pulling an instruction from memory is, as far as a human brain is concerned, instantaneous. But when it comes to, computers and processing time and lots of instructions, is slower, right? Grabbing an instruction from memory. So basically, this optimization is potentially pulling cryptographic keys into this area, and malware can facilitate and sometimes initiate this process by sort of prompting the processor to pull cryptographic keys, and it prompts it and then it checks. And so it's possible that a hacker, if the malware was on the computer and running, might be able to extract some of the cryptographic keys that are being processed on the computer. Now, this is mostly a would apply to the Apple keychain information, right? And a lot of people use Apple keychain to manage their passwords. So it is possible that the attacker might gain access to the user's keychain data and thus their passwords for logging into various services. Now, as I mentioned, this is potential, and it requires the user to have malware running. This does not necessarily apply directly to crypto wallets, although it could if you were running a hot wallet on your Macintosh. It's possible. But this is more kind of an underlying weakness or vulnerability in the M2 chip architecture because of this process of trying to pull things into the cache. Now, this process there is a way to tick it off. It's called the Go Fetch exploit, and I believe there's a way to there's an instruction to disable DPM, which is that process we were talking about that the chips use to speed up their processing. I forget what the full name of it is. But I just want to point this out. Now, it was funny because the reason I heard about this was I got an alert, an email blast from a Ledger, and Ledger was all like popping corks and stuff, and oh look, Apple is vulnerable too, and talking about all the implications of it. I really didn't have a chance to listen to their entire. They talked about it on one of their podcasts, but basically it's something maybe you need to be aware of if you're a Mac user. But this was really the only thing that they mentioned to mitigate this. They are going, and they can't patch the chip itself. It's built in to the chip. So they're going to have to sort of have third-party fixes for this, which will slow down cryptographic processing. It might not be noticeable unless you are doing cryptographic operations. Like, so if you're just web browsing or whatever, if you have implement a patch or it'll probably be implemented with an Apple update of some kind, you won't really notice it that much in your day-to-day activities, but you might. Right. But I just like to bring this kind of stuff up to make you aware of this kind of stuff that now also I wanted to also kind of let you know, whenever you see these scare articles, don't just assume that your crypto is at risk and start transferring things around and screw something up and lose your crypto over stuff like this, right? You always have to read the article and realize what exactly are they talking about. Does it apply to me? Are there ways that I can mitigate it if it does apply to me? But don't start panicking and doing weird stuff. Catherine Marigold Small, thank you. She signed up to be a crypto novice. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. I think we've talked in the past, if I recall. Very nice of you to join up as a member. Now, I wanted to bring up this story because this is the kind of story that will get people panicking right away. Everybody's, when we're on Reddit and people talk about hardware wallets, they do this whole, oh, that wallet's been hacked, right? This is a very interesting story about the Trezor company getting their X account hacked. This has nothing to do with their wallet security or their Trezor Suite software security. Nothing at all. But people make the generalization. They go, oh, well, if if they can't keep their X account safe, then that means that their regular software isn't safe. That is I forget what that logical fallacy is. That's an ad hominem attack, right? You're attacking a company based on their personality or something they've done, right? So I would like to go through this because it's a very interesting exercise in how they, I don't know if this goes into it that much. But let me go through, let me just tell you what happened. Satoshi Labs revealed that it suspects the compromise to be a sophisticated and premeditated phishing attack planned by hackers over several weeks. Satoshi Labs, the company that designs and markets Trezor crypto hardware wallets, has issued a detailed explanation of an incident that led to the posting of fraudulent pre-sale token. James S. Robinson, thank you so much for that subscription. Pre-sale token announcements on its official X account. So what happened was their X account got hacked. The hackers posted some fraudulent pre-sale token announcements with links to take users to a fraudulent website where they were scammed. I don't know the extent of how the scam worked. Most likely, it had them sending crypto to an address in order to purchase a share of the pre-sale. I think that's how it worked. But the idea was that they trusted the link because it was on the official Trezor X account. Now, as an aside, I don't care how trusted any source is. I'm not going to start clicking on links to be in some kind of pre-sale without doing a little bit of research. So a lot of this kind of stuff could be avoided. We're going to talk a little more about wallet security, but one of the things you have to remember is that there are so many scams out there. I see them on my phone. I get messages from scammers on my phone all the time. I get texts from scammers on my phone all the time. I get email scams in my email box all the time. I get a lot of scams, people trying to scam me as a creator. I get a lot of emails saying that they want to partner with me, and they're just scammers trying to get me to download malware or give up information. A lot of it has to do with they're trying to take over my YouTube account, and so if I were to click on their link and say, hey, or if I were to reply to the email and say, hey, yeah, sure, I would like to, advertise for Nike. They always pretend to be some big company that like I might know about. And I'm like, yeah, right. Nike wants me to advertise on my YouTube channel but anyway, if you reply, they'll say, oh, okay, we're going to send you our media pack. Right. And so they send you a link and you click that link and that's malware. So I get a lot of that. So just don't click links, guys, please. Be suspicious of everything. Don't look around like a chicken waiting for somebody to tell you you're going to be rich. It's a recipe for disaster. Always, I don't trust any links, even if your mom sends you a link. Be suspicious. Anyhow, but I'm just going to tell you how this thing works, guys, because we're running out of time for the news right now. Basically, what happened was the company was contacted by a scammer who had created a fake persona on X, right? They had an account with hundreds of followers. They claimed to be from a small startup company that wanted to partner with Trezor, very similar to the one I'm telling you about, how people will say they want to partner with me. But I'm sure Trezor gets a lot of these legitimate requests for partnership, right? Any company does. So they went back and forth with this scammer, and at one point they arranged to have a meeting to discuss this partnership. Well, it involved a Calendly link. I don't know if you're familiar with Calendly, but whoops.
maybe I'm old and all of you know what the hell I'm talking about, but it is a way to schedule meetings and appointments. Well, the Calendly link was a malicious link. Well, and so the person in charge of this, and Asil, thank you so much. I'm always glad to have you here, and thank you for donating. I really appreciate that. So as this scam went forward, it ran its course over several weeks. And they arranged the meeting, they sent the Calendly link, and then when the person at Trezor clicked the link, he was given a warning that it was a malicious link and did not follow it. But they did go ahead and set up the meeting. And then as they were trying to arrange this video conference, I'm sure, everybody was there. It was a big meeting, and like the big wigs were there, and everybody was stressed out, and they had worked this into their schedule. During attempting to set up this meeting, the scammer said, "Oh, I'm having technical issues. Could you please give me authorization to let me in," or whatever. And it was at that point, under time pressure, that the person that was in charge of this meeting that worked at Trezor clicked the malicious link that gave the scammer access to their X account. And I'm sorry, I said it was Google Meet. It was not Google Meet. They were attempting to have a meeting on X, which I didn't know you could do this, but apparently you can. Once again, thank you, Asil, for that donation. Apparently you can do video chats on X. I was not aware of this. I don't do that kind of stuff. I have done I have done Google Meet, but I have never had a video meeting on X, but apparently you could. So when the scammer was finally gained access to the X account, that is when they posted these malicious tweets talking about this fake token. Yeah, I'm out of breath over this. What was it? Come on, Rex. It's here. Fraudulent pre-sale token. So everybody's trying to get on pre-sales. And I kind of understand it because once you hear about a token, it's usually too late. So the trick is to get in on the pre-sale. Kathy, thank you for that so much. I appreciate that. The trick is to get in on the pre-sale, to get in at, when the price is really low. But some things I'll mention about pre-sales. First of all, of course you're in the early on, and you're in at a good price, but there's no guarantee that this particular coin is going to take off or not. It's a gamble. When you do pre-sale, when you're in on pre-sales. And another thing about a pre-sale is you really need to have done your research the company from multiple sources. Make sure if you are trying to get involved in a pre-sale, that you are going through the official channels of the pre-sale. And then even if you do manage to get in on official channels, we're still talking about a gamble here. It might pay off, it might not. But the problem is that people are seeing these meme coins that are just taking off, and they wish, if only I had been in on the pre-sale, I'd be a millionaire or whatever, right? I put in $300 and then I get out 300,000 or whatever. It's the crypto dream. And so scammers know this. Scammers know that people are frustrated and they're greedy and they would love to get in on a pre-sale, and they see a link from a trusted source, they click that link, and they transfer crypto thinking, hey, I'm in on the pre-sale now, and boom, they can't get their crypto back. So anyway, as I mentioned, this was very sophisticated. I mean, it's really an interesting story. I don't know if it's in this article. the whole incident. I read it somewhere else. Let's see. Maybe I can give you a link to. No, that's just a link to there. Yeah, but I read like an in-depth story of how this transpired, and it is it's pretty incredible that they were able to trick Trezor into this. But nobody's perfect. And, and a lot of people on Reddit will snowball and conflate all of their mistakes together. They're like, oh, well, their device got hacked back in, 2017. Some researchers hacked their device. And they also had a database link, Oh, and now they just got their X account, So they build up all this FUD based on... and this is kind of an isolated incident when you think about it, right? It was just one person's mistake in the heat of the moment. Yep. Okay, so let me get caught up here. I want to talk about wallet security tonight. I got some good stuff planned. Just want to make sure... this Apple thing is the M series chip, so I guess it would be the M1 chip. But I don't know what's in their phones, to be honest. I haven't. Okay, and someone's asking me about the security issue for Trezor. Don't get the Apple story and the Trezor story mixed up. And as I mentioned before I went into this whole Trezor thing with their X account, it has nothing to do with their wallets. Their wallet security was not compromised in any way or form by this. This was simply someone that gained temporary access to their X account, which is completely separate from their wallet and their Trezor Suite software. This is not a Trezor security breach of their wallet. See, and I'm trying to explain it to you, and people are, you still hear, oh, Trezor security, it's like, just try not to overreact to these kind of stories. That's exactly what they want you to do. So you'll click on them. Okay, Dan's here. Thank you so much for helping out, Dan. I always appreciate you helping people that are asking questions. Julia, thank you so much. Julia 8, you're very nice. Thank you so much. Let's hear NASA coverage. Wanted to ask about new BitKey cold storage wallet by Square. Big Jack Dorsey fan, but it looks to be a multi-sig and similar to Ledger Recover. Could you do a video on this soon? Thank you for asking. I should do a video, but my cursory research on that BitKey wallet is, I totally agree with you. It is one of those multi-modal type of wallet setups that relies on some sort of cloud backup, and that to me is not self-custody. They have several factors or whatever, but the upshot there is that if you lose your device, then you have to connect to their service. Now, they claim that, it's encrypted and all that good stuff, but that is not how a hardware wallet should work. A hardware wallet is pretty damn simple, right? It generates a random private key when you initialize the device that is only local. And then it gives you a seed phrase which you write down. And then you make sure that you don't lose that seed phrase. You can recover your wallet if anything happens to the device. You can even use that backup phrase to restore to different types of wallets. That backup phrase is a way of storing your crypto. And that's pretty simple, but there are so many people out there that are trying to tell you that that's not a good way to manage wallets because people lose them, people reveal them. Yeah, people are not perfect, people don't understand, but that is no reason to throw away the entire self-custody system. right? There are a lot of companies out there that are trying to come up with these multi-sig solutions where, oh, you shouldn't have to rely on a seed phrase. They're insecure. People lose them. People reveal them. So we've got this great little system where you got this thing over here and this thing over here. And, you know, we've got our server over here and you've got your Face ID over there and you've got your thumbprint over here and you've got your device. And then all of those things come together and you can restore if you lose your, this is all like, this is very similar to the way Ledger Restore works, which Ledger Recover works, which is, you know, they've got your entropy backed up somewhere, right? So no, I'll do a video on the Jack Dorsey BitKey wallet, but it is not a traditional self-custody wallet. The same thing applies for that other crazy, well, actually there was that other one that McAfee did, I believe that's more of a self-custody solution. I'm trying to think of the name of this thing. Let me see. McAfee crypto wallet. God, where is it? Okay. What was the name of that wallet? Doggone it. BitFi. Okay, the other one, the BitFi wallet. It's another scheme that avoids seed phrases, but it still has you like writing down pieces or remembering pieces or something. It claims to be a seed-free wallet that gets regenerated every time you use it, but you still have like these chunks of data that you have to keep track of. They claim that it's unhackable, but I'm not a huge fan of this one either. Right? But it does match my shirt. Okay. So yeah, I will check out that BitFi, maybe do a video on that. Brave wallet, is it a decent one? Brave has a wallet built in, the Brave browser. The Brave browser wallet is basically a variation of the MetaMask wallet, because the MetaMask code base, I believe, is open source, and so Brave has incorporated it. It used to be, and you can click on it over here. It's basically a wallet that's built into Brave, but it is a hot wallet, right? There's nothing wrong with it. It's, you know, it's a pretty decent wallet, but it is not as secure as a hardware wallet like a Ledger or a Trezor or a Tangem or, you know, a Keystone 3 or any of the hardware wallets that I cover. There's nothing wrong with it, though. But like I said, it's just basically a variation of MetaMask that's built into Brave, and it's not as versatile as MetaMask, right? It's not compatible with as many of the DEXs out there. Right. Looks like there's some money in there too. I got to figure that one out. This might be in there. Oh, I think that looks like it's it's connected to my device there. Yeah, I just connected it to my device. And I can find out real quick if I do a receive or deposit, what do they call it? Well, maybe not. I'll have to take a look at it, but yeah. Yeah, well, the one nice thing about being CryptoDad is sometimes you set up wallets for demos and then drop crypto in there and then forget about it and find it later. It's pretty fun, but I doubt it. I mean, sometimes I think I've hit something and I'm like, wait a minute, this is like... All right, so let's go into the wallet stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. The first thing I'm going to point out Let's go over that UTX thing that P. Wizzle or Paul wanted me to talk about. The UTX thing is that if you're buying, and I have a Reddit post here, a UTX is a transaction. Let's basically just think of it as a transaction. So when you have a wallet, let's just take a look at this Bitcoin wallet. These are all pretty small amounts. You'll notice that there's a lot of incoming Bitcoin into this wallet, right? There's an incoming transaction. There's another one. Here's one. All these green down arrows are incoming. Also, last week, someone was asking me about Phantom Wallet, and they kept saying it has the download icon on there. And she sent me an email with a picture during the live stream, which I should have looked at, but I kept saying, I don't know what you mean, the download icon. You're not downloading anything. She was talking about the incoming icon that sort of looks like a download icon. It almost looks identical to a download icon, but that's what she was talking about last week. And I think after the live stream, I think this was Wednesday, I emailed her back and we talked a little more. But yeah, these are incoming transactions. And so if you are dollar cost averaging, you're buying your Bitcoin on a weekly or a monthly basis, and you're dropping that Bitcoin into your wallet on every purchase, you will accumulate quite a bit of transactions in your wallet, as opposed to, say, a Bitcoin wallet that only has, you're only making transfers into the wallet like on a month or every other month, or once 2 times a year or something like that. That would have less amount of transactions in the wallet entirely. Well, what that means is, I know it's a little complicated, but the wallet is going to show you a balance. And in my case, I've moved Bitcoin out of the wallet over time, but you might have a wallet that has accumulated a lot of Bitcoin over that period of time. Well, when you go to send that Bitcoin out back to an exchange, or you're moving it somewhere else, all of those transactions of incoming Bitcoin have to be combined in order to move the bulk of the Bitcoin out, and you can incur fees. So what people are doing are trying to mitigate those fees by combining them into a larger block. Right? That's what's going on here. That's the idea. It is a money-saving process. It is a way for someone to try to save money on fees down the road. So in other words, like when I'm ready to move my Bitcoin out, right? I've been buying and storing Bitcoin for 3 years, and now I'm ready to make this transaction back over to Coinbase so I can sell at a profit. Oh my God, I've got this huge fee because of all of these tiny transactions in my wallet. So what people are trying to do is use coin control to somehow combine all these at a cheaper rate. So that's the idea. Let's go through the Reddit. Interesting. And then they talk a little bit about third-party wallets. I'd like to point this out. Let me see if I can get this bigger. Yeah. Okay, so he's got, and believe me, you might not be able to follow all this. Some of it was like, for me as well. All right, so he's been using UTX. He's researching UTXO management, and notice that most video tutorials are only consolidating their smaller Bitcoin amounts, less than 1K. He's got 50 UTXOs. Half of them are in that 1 to 10K range, the other half being under 1K. So his question is, should I just consolidate everything or just the small ones? He checked, and it was going to cost him $200 to combine them. So we're talking about when we do this combination, when we combine all these into one chunk, we are going to get fees just doing that. So it's a matter of, are those fees going to be cheaper than the fees we might get later when we decide we just want to send it? So there are some very good responses here. I think it's adequate. The purpose of consolidating now is to avoid having to combine them in the future when rates might be higher, right? If it is unlikely that you will have to combine a 10K UTXO with another in the future, then it should not be consolidated now. So if he's got like a big incoming there, it really doesn't make sense to combine it with the smaller ones now or later, right? Because if I decide I want to withdraw 5K, it might just use this one transaction to pull that 5K out. Now, how the wallet works and how it knows which ones to use, I don't know right off the top of my head. It might go for the bigger chunks first. So let's say you have 10K incoming, and then you got a whole bunch of little small ones, and you go to withdraw 5K. It might just take the 5K out of the 10K because it's cheaper, right? The wallet might just do that for you automatically. And then he comes up with this heuristic based on the Satoshis and all this stuff, and it's pretty complicated, right? So hey, this is confusing. I might have to save this and read it later. And then, okay, here's a little bit of common wisdom. You don't have to consolidate your UTXOs. It's just a way of saving money, like clipping coupons. You don't have to clip coupons to go shopping, right? A lot of people, they hear about this and they get all uptight and they're like, should I be doing this? And the answer is no, you don't have to do this unless you think it's going to save you some money on fees, right? I understand, blah, blah, blah. It depends. You're looking at paying around $5 to send consolidate each UTXO now while fees are relatively low. When fees spike, it could be 10 to 20 per UTXO. If the Bitcoin price 10x, then you're looking at 100 to 200 per UTXO. So it boils down to the ratio of fee cost to the amount you're sending / consolidating. In some situations, there is also an added risk of accessing the funds versus just leaving them alone. Now, another issue that can arise by consolidating all of your UTXOs, and where is it that someone mentioned this? Doggone it. Give me a second here. They talk about the Trezor here a little bit, but I wanted to get to okay, I guess I missed it. But anyway, I'll just talk about it, right? So if you take all of your UTXOs, you've got hundreds of UTXOs, you combine them into one giant chunk transaction, the next time you send Bitcoin out of your wallet, the recipient will be able to see your giant stack. Right, so it's bad for privacy to in general to combine all of your small UTXOs into one giant stack, because now you are revealing that stack to anyone that you send that crypto to. Now, theoretically, most of the time you'll be sending that crypto to an exchange like Coinbase, and they don't really care. It's not that big of a deal. But if you were sending it to just another person, it might not be that secure for them to see you have this giant stack of Bitcoin. So privacy speaking, you want smaller chunks so that when you send transactions, they can only see what's left over from that particular chunk, right? You've got your wallet divided into a bunch of chunks. See, this is getting complicated for me just to explain. But I did want to bring up this one little going back and forth where they say, hey, why don't you use Sparrow Wallet? It works much better. Use an interface with coin control that will let you see your individual UTXOs like Electrum or Sparrow. Right? And so he replies, I'm using Trezor and I prefer not to connect it to anything. Is that what I'd have to do, or can Trezor Suite show me? Then how do you select which ones to send? All right, so this is very common. I think I talked about this last Wednesday. People are suspicious of third-party wallets. Oh, no, I don't want to connect my Trezor to anything, you know. I'm like, I did a short on this. All of the, you know, Trezor and Ledger were both, when they debuted, they had no in-house software. They were only compatible with third-party wallets. That is how the devices work, right? They connect to third-party wallets and provide security. So connecting your Trezor to Sparrow wallet or Ethereum wallet is not a security risk. But anyway, here's what he says. You are connecting it to something. Trezor Suite. That is worse. Using Electrum or Sparrow instead will only increase your privacy and functionality. Yes, you'd have to do this. There's no reason not to. Well, he comes back. LOL, I'm not an expert, which is why I'm super cautious, but don't you give up any permissions to connect to Trezor. Oh, wait, but you don't give up any permissions to connect to Trezor Suite. You just plug it in and use the PIN. Connecting to a separate site is a different thing. Also, Trezor Suite isn't a website. It's a safe app that's already on my PC. Doesn't require an internet connection for use. All of this is false. I don't want to bang on this guy at all, and he prefaces it with, I'm no expert, but yes, you do authorize Trezor Suite to export the private information of, I'm sorry, here I go again. You do authorize, the Trezor Suite does have to get authorization from the device to export the public information, right? It's not just, oh, I just plug it in, right? Trezor Suite does the exact same thing that third-party wallets do. It exports the public information from the device so that you can manage the wallets, right? And Trezor Suite does require an internet connection. That's how it gets blockchain information. That's how it gets the current price information. That's how it gets the transaction history. All of that requires an internet connection, right? So I don't know, people just... Blockchain is on the internet. Right? You need internet connection. They get all hung up on this hardware wallet being offline. And that is true. The hardware wallet is offline, but the hardware wallet or the hardware device is not the wallet. It's part of the wallet. One thing I wanted to bring up before we get too much further into this little discussion is that, and I'm going to do it here, let's go full screen. All right. I don't know if I can do this. This is not your wallet. I'm sorry. This is not a safe. Right? If you think about crypto as being stored in a bank vault or a house safe or something, this is not a safe. The crypto is not stored on this thing or in this thing. This is not the safe. This is the key to your safe. Right? That's the way to think about it. Your safe is the blockchain. Now, I know that sounds weird, that the blockchain out there on the internet is where you're actually storing your crypto. Why would I be storing my crypto out on the internet? Isn't that insecure? Well, it's a smaller piece of the internet where the blockchain exists on multiple computers. It is a cryptographically secured ledger that keeps track of where all the Bitcoin is on all of the addresses. So yes, you store your Bitcoin on the blockchain. That is the beauty of the blockchain. It is a cryptographically secure way of storing currency what's the word I'm looking for? Securely out there, right? So most people wouldn't think of the internet as a safe place to store things, right? Oh, well, I've got Dropbox, but somebody could hack it, right? The blockchain is not hacked. The blockchain is cryptographically secure. If the blockchain were hackable, Bitcoin wouldn't work. People would be, it was like, oh, it's a failure. It doesn't work, right? I put my crypto there and it's gone tomorrow. That's not a thing, right? The blockchain is secure because it's cryptographically secure. That is why the hackers keep trying to get your seed phrase, because your seed phrase contains your key, contains your access. But don't think of this as your safe. You are not storing crypto in this. You are storing the key to your safe in here. Your safe is the blockchain. You use and you have to connect your wallet to the internet in order to access crypto that's on the blockchain, right? But the private key never leaves the device. It can offline secure the unlocking or of access to the wallet. Right? That's the beauty of hardware wallets. All right, let's go back to our little discussion here. Whoops, yeah. No, not that. Let's go here. I do want to move some crypto around. So let's get done with this little thing about UTXOs. Well, I'm kind of in the weeds here about this. So here is the thing. Electrum and Sparrow are open source Bitcoin apps that run locally. Right, so he's claiming that he says, well, Trezor's not a website, so it's more secure. Well, Electrum and Sparrow are not websites. They are open source Bitcoin apps that run locally on your computer. They work just like Trezor Suite. You pair them with your Trezor, which passes the public key to the app. It's not different. But they have more Bitcoin functionality like RBF, pay to many, and coin control. And you can see a list of your UTXOs and addresses, right? I've been harping on this over and over again about MetaMask. MetaMask is much more powerful and flexible than Ledger Live. You can manage a lot more tokens than Ledger Live. You can do a lot more things than Ledger Live, right? The same thing when we talk about Solflare, which is a Solana-based wallet that can manage Solana-based tokens, right? It is much more powerful and flexible than Ledger Live. Ledger Live can't manage Solana tokens. It can only manage Solana, the main token. It can do staking too, but so can Solflare wallet, right? So I just go on and on about these third-party wallets. People think they're insecure, just like this guy. And, bless his heart, he's rightfully skeptical. He should be skeptical. That's good. But so many people are fed so much fear, uncertainty, and doubt over crypto hardware wallets that they think it's insecure to connect to third-party wallets. It is not. Right? These third-party wallets that he's talking about, Electrum and Sparrow, you can download them from the internet, and you can do cryptographic verification on your download, right? So you're not just like downloading it willy-nilly from some website, right? See, they have cryptographic verification signatures, right? These are ways of verifying your download and verifying the integrity of the software that you're downloading. It's a lot more safe and secure than what we do on day-to-day basis by clicking web links and stuff like that, right? Okay, and some other stuff I wanted to quickly cover before I get to some questions and do some real stuff. Let's see. Oh, fake wallets are not a thing, right? I think I've said this before. There are no fake wallets out there. People are, I mean, bless his heart. I was watching a YouTuber today. He's got a little channel going. And he was talking about crypto tips, and the first one of his tips was don't buy crypto wallets from other vendors. Only buy them directly from the manufacturer, because there are fake wallets out there that'll steal your crypto. There are no fake wallets out there stealing people's crypto. There are no altered, hacked wallets that are being, mailed to people. This is not a thing. Right? It is a possibility, but it is not. Show me one of that in the wild, right? Most of these wallets have cryptographic verification integrity checks. So even if you were to buy an altered wallet, it would fail the integrity check right away. It's not the kind of thing that a scammer would invest time and effort into, because it would fail the integrity check and it would be useless to the scammer. It's much more profitable to focus on tricking users into revealing the seed phrases of their legitimate wallets than it is to be out there trying to substitute their fake wallets for the real thing. That's not a thing. Okay, I did talk about the Trezor earlier. It was their X account. It had nothing to do with their wallet. So you might want to go back and rewatch the stream where we talk a little bit more about that. There are no fake wallets out there. At the very least, someone might be silly enough to try to sell a pre-configured wallet that has an existing seed phrase, or they've already set up the PIN, hoping that the newcomer that bought this so-called fake wallet would be dumb enough not to set it up from scratch with their own seed phrase. That's a possibility, but even that is a long shot. Most people wouldn't fall for that. I mean, I've seen Reddit posts of people sending their device back because there's a scratch and they think it's been, it's a used device, right? Who the hell is going to fall for someone that, a wallet that already has a seed phrase? If you're skeptical, people are so skeptical. So really, this whole idea of people selling fake, compromised hardware wallets is a fantasy. I don't know why that bugs me so much, but it just really bugs me that people warn people about that stuff. And then people don't trust hardware wallets because they think, oh, they've been hacked, they've been altered. I'm going to put crypto in there and it's going to disappear. Well, usually what happens when crypto disappears is people give out their seed phrases. I'm on a rant. All right. Let's see. What else did we? Let's do something, right? Let's do something. I want to do something tonight. I want to buy. I want to make a purchase of a meme coin. I want to do some risky business here. All right. I want to show you how to purchase a Solana meme coin. Right. So the meme coin in question. Let's get this all straightened out here. The meme coin in question is Book of Meme. It's a little bit up today. And if we look at its all-time chart, which is about a month, it was on March 16th, it topped out at about 2 cents. Right? If you were in on the pre-sale, then you did pretty well. Right? But we missed the pre-sale, right? We've already heard about this coin, but we're going to assume, hey, I think I want to buy this, right? Because I read an article that it might keep going up, right? So I want to get my hands on this. How do I get my hands on this? Let's go to markets. Looks like some exchanges have it, but they're all non-US, right? So how do I get my hands on this meme coin? Well, it's being sold on Radium. We'll just use our Soulflare wallet. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we're getting the right coin. If we go on CoinGecko and look at the coin, we can find its contract address here so that we can verify that we're dealing with the right coin and not some pretender, right? And we're going to use our Solflare wallet. Let's go here. I think I can delete this wallet. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to delete this wallet and just leave it with Alex's ledger. So I'm going to take my Ledger Nano X, going to connect it. I'm going to go from the very beginning, right? This is a Solana meme coin, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Solana wallet. I'm going to fund the wallet with some Solana, and then I'm going to trade for this meme coin, right? So the first thing we need to do is go into our Ledger Live and install the Solana app on our device, right? In order to do that, I'm going to enter my PIN. I'm going to connect my device. Whoops. All right, let's see here. I'll get through this real quick if I can. Whoops, what is this? Okay. All right, let's turn on this other camera. Okay, so you can see what's going on my device. All right, so we're not going to use Ledger Live, but we do need Ledger Live to get this app installed. So I'm going to go to my Ledger, and I'm going to allow the secure connection with the Ledger device. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate it. I hope you don't have to cut out early as you usually do. You're usually like, hey, I got to go. Here's your $5. I appreciate that. It's always a shame to see you go. Hope you can stay. All right. So here we go. We search for Solana. As you can see, I've already got it installed. If it were not installed, let's just take it off. Right? Now, what the hell am I doing? Why would I delete my Solana app if I have a wallet on there? Right? I've just destroyed my private keys by uninstalling the Solana app from my device. Why in God's name would I destroy my private keys? Why, am I insane? No, I'm not. And you know why? Because if I go back to the app catalog and reinstall the Solana app, you know what happens? The master private key of my device will create a Solana wallet. And you know what it's going to do? It's going to create the exact same Solana address that it created the first time I did it. Hardware wallets are deterministic, which means once you have initialized a wallet with a master private key, you can generate other wallets based on that master private key, and they will always be exactly the same. It doesn't have to remember anything, right? It's like, what was that wallet you just deleted? It doesn't know. It doesn't care. But when it runs its little algorithm to create a Solana wallet based on its unique master private key, it will generate the exact same Solana wallet address it did the first time. So I've just destroyed my private key and recreated my private key within the space of 30 seconds. All right. Now that we've done this and we've got Solana on here, let's quit Ledger Live. Let's go over to my Solflare wallet. And I'm going to go up here to the account icon and I hit the plus because I want to create a brand new wallet based on a Ledger device, right? So I can import a recovery phrase, I can connect a ledger, a keystone, I can import an existing private key or key store. I'm not going to do any of those things. And by the way, if you're importing private keys and key stores on your computer, if you've got malware, that's that's not as safe as it could be. Now, if you don't have any malware on your computer, these are not a problem, right? But these types of wallets are less secure than hardware connections, right? Because when we connect hardware wallets, we're utilizing the private key that is stored on the hardware device. Right? You heard me talk about the private key is the key to unlock our blockchain holdings, right? So let's connect our ledger. It tells me to connect my ledger and unlock it. And down here in small print, got to read the small print, guys. Open the Solana app and click continue when ready. All right, so I need to get on the Solana app. As you can see, I can navigate around on the device. There's the Solana app. We click both buttons to open the Solana app. It says application ready, and there's that little Solana icon. Now that I've done that, let's hit continue. Don't click continue before you've opened your Solana app, or you're going to get a message and you're going to think, oh, what's going on? What's wrong? Well, right? Follow the procedures, read the instructions, everything will be good. Let's hit continue. It's scanning my device. My device, I need to give it permission to export out the Solana, right? Right, there it is. This is just public information, right? So there's that Solana wallet that I just deleted, right? It came back. Lo and behold, I had more than one. I'm just going to do the one here to keep it simple. Let's hit import. And now we can go back into Solflare and switch over to this one. And we can even rename this one. Let's rename this one. Whoops. Sorry. Let's call it Rex. Whoops. Okay. Okay, so there we go. That's my wallet, right? Look at all those assets. You know, those assets are on the blockchain. You saw me delete the app, which destroyed the private key on my device. You saw me reinstall the app, which recreated the exact same wallet that was there before. You saw me delete my Ledger device early on from my Solflare wallet, and then you saw me go back into Solflare and reconnect my Ledger device to gain access to all of this cryptocurrency, right? This is a Solana-based third-party wallet. Right, now I want to buy some of that meme coin. So the Book of Meme. So how am I going to do that? Well, first of all, in order to fund this transaction, let's assume that the Solana is empty, right? So let's go over to Coinbase and buy some Solana. I can, the device is not important at the moment. I'll just put it down for a minute. I'm in advanced Coinbase. You might be used to regular Coinbase if you're new. But if we go to regular Coinbase and we try to buy some Solana, and we want to buy $100 worth of Solana, it's going to cost me $2.99. Kind of high. So a better way to do this is to go to advanced Coinbase, and let's go to that Solana trading pair right here, Solana for US dollar. But I don't have any US dollar in my account at the moment, right? We're making a standalone purchase. So let's put some dollars in the account. We'll hit deposit. We'll choose deposit US dollar, and then we'll deposit $100 from my bank account into my Coinbase account. from my Chase account that I've connected. Right? Very easy, very quick, instant, and free. Right? Doesn't cost me anything to put $100 from my bank into my Coinbase. You may have differing results. If your account is new, they might allow you to make your deposit right away and make your trade right away, but might not allow you to make your withdrawal right away. They might make you wait 3 to 5 business days. In my case, I've had this account for a long time. We should be able to make our purchase and our withdrawal within a few minutes, right? Now that we put the dollars in the account, we can do our trade. Right, so I'll use market as I always do because I'm not really a high-end trader, and I need to switch from U.S. dollar coin to U.S. dollar because that's where I put the money. Let's take a look at my portfolio and just double check. Yeah, it's in there. See, there's $100 in there. I'm going to just refresh that. Let's go back over to the spot. Sol US dollar. Let's do buy Sol at market for max, which is $100 right there. It kind of refreshed and there it is. So I'm buying $100. Now look at the fee, 55 cents. So instead of $2.99, I'm only spending 55 cents, right? We'll hit buy Sol. And then we can go back to the portfolio. Let's refresh, and there's our Sol, right? We didn't get quite $100, but we got $99.64. Keeping in mind that the price of Sol fluctuates and all that good stuff too. It's like trying to jump rope on a ship in a storm. Right. All right. So what we want to do now is put this Sol in my Solflare wallet so I can trade for this meme coin. Right. Remember that meme coin we were going to buy? Let's go back here. Let's go ahead and open up a another tab so you can see it better. All right. Now what I want to do is grab this address. Right. This is the Solana address of the wallet. I could transfer any of these tokens into my wallet using that address. All of the sub tokens can use the main address of the wallet. It's all the same. The wallet keeps track of which coins are Solana and which coins are sub tokens. But we're going to drop some Solana in this wallet, $100 worth of Solana. All right, let's go back over to Coinbase now that we've got that address. Let's go here. I'm going to click right on the letter SOL. If I click here, it takes me to the trading interface. If I click right on the Sol, it takes me to sort of the wallet area, right, where I can see my balance and everything. So let's say we want to transfer. I can do a send. I'm right here. I can just send the max Solana that I have. That's 0.57 Solana. Right, and then here is the recipient. I'll click here. I'll paste in my address of my Solflare wallet, which is the Solana address of the wallet that my ledger generated. That is the receiving address of my Solana wallet. We're managing that ledger-based wallet using Solflare because we've connected our device to Solflare. It's not a security. It's not insecure, unsecure, not secure to connect my device to Solflare because that is the way the hardware device works, right? It provides security to any wallet that's compatible, right? All right, there it is. Let's go ahead and preview that send. And it's going to cost me 2 cents network fee. Very cheap to transfer Solana. Let's hit send now. I need my 2-factor from my phone. Let's go into my Coinbase 2-factor. There it is, 160773. And off it goes. Solana is not only cheap to trade, cheap to transfer, it's also pretty quick. So we should be able to go over here to our Solflare wallet. and look at our Solana balance, it was 6.09. It should be 6.57 plus 9, so it should be 6.58 something, or maybe just a little over that. Let's just do a quick refresh. 6.66. Ooh, not a great number, but so the Solana is in our wallet now, right? Now we want to make that trade. So we got to go to trade up here. And there are several ways to do this. Make sure the device is connected, right? DJ Munenko paid $40 from crypto to move $100 in Bitcoin to Ledger. Yes, transfer fees are high right now. I feel your pain. That's why we're doing Solana tonight. Cheap, fast, low fees. But yes, fees matter. Now, Sol is lined up as the asset that we're going to use to make our purchase. Down here, we want to get that Book of Meme coin, right? Let's go back to CoinGecko, to the official page of Book of Meme, right? This is the actual coin we're after, right? Let's copy that address into our clipboard. Let's go back here. Now, let's say I'm just searching for it. Look at all of the fakes, right? So many fakes. How do I know which is the right one? Well, I have the official contract address of Book of Meme, the actual coin I want to buy. So in the search field, I can paste in that contract address and voila, there it is. The actual coin, not a cheap copy, not a Confederate, not a scam, the actual coin I want to purchase. So I'll click there. Now we've got our trade lined up. Let's put in our 0.57 Sol, which is our $100 worth of Sol. We'll hit swap. Now we're going to need our device to authorize this. So I'm going to turn on this camera and make sure we're in the Solana app. Let's hit swap. Oh, we also need, in order to do this swap, we need to have blind signing enabled. It's just a fact of life. We need to allow blind signing for this to happen. So if it fails, that might be why. All right, are we on the right device? We're on, everything's good. Let's hit swap. It wants me to authorize on my device. There, that's the blind signing. It goes over, there's the message hash, and then I'll click approve by clicking both buttons at the same time. And let's keep our fingers crossed. This doesn't always work on the first try. When you're buying meme coins, it can, in times of high activity, you might get a failure. But if it fails, it doesn't mean that crypto has gone out and you've lost your crypto. It generally just means, it means that the transaction didn't go through. So you still have your tokens, right? But in our case, it did go through. We're good. Now we can go back to our portfolio and we can see we've got our Book of Meme, about our $100 worth, right? It's down right now. It might go up, it might go down. I don't know. But a lot of people are hot to buy meme coins on Solana. This has been the explosion of the meme coin phenomenon on the Solana blockchain. So this is one way of doing it. There are other ways of doing it. We could do it on Radium, which is also a way to swap Solana tokens, right? In the Radium's case, we would connect our wallet, and my Malwarebytes doesn't seem to like that for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, I would say connect wallet. Where is Solflare? That's kind of weird. Okay. Don't know what that's about. Huh, I don't see Solflare on there. Maybe browser wallet? No, not MetaMask. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. Usually it has Solflare as a choice. Another one is Jupiter. Jupiter DEX. And then we would do the same thing. We would connect our wallet, and they have Solflare in there. And basically, Solflare asks me to confirm that I want to connect to Jupiter. And then, I have access to all of the Solana in this wallet. And this is a ledger-based wallet. You'll notice that I wasn't able to do my trade without authorizing on the device. That is the security of a third party. That is security of a hardware device. All right, so let's talk. Let me get caught up what everyone's asking. I wanted to do this. Rex, you clicked on the Radium sponsored Google listing. Okay. It looks like the actual Radium site, but I could be wrong. There's one. Here's the other, but they both lead to the same site. www.radium.io. Radium.io. I mean, it's pretty much the same. Well, maybe not. Okay. Launch app. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, but yes, thanks for pointing that out. You do have to be careful when you click Google search results. Sometimes they lead you to faux sites. Actually, this one's already been connected. Maybe that was what the problem was, yeah? Let's disconnect. Let's connect again. And yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I was on a bad Radium site. Ooh, that was weird. It's a good thing I didn't connect my MetaMask wallet. Yeah, that was weird. Radium.io. Let's go back to that. That was interesting. I clicked on a sponsored link. Silly me. www.radium. Let's see. Is it spelled the same way? RAYDIUM. RAYDIUM.io. I think that's the same site. Should be. Huh. I just don't know why it didn't have Solflare. Let's check this one more time. This takes me right to the DEX, right, instead of their homepage. But they still don't have the Solflare. That's weird. Go figure. Well, let's try this again. No? Continue in browser wallet. Except try again. Yeah. Give me a break. Okay, all wallets. Solflare. I don't know. But you're right. When I click this this link here, the Solflare wallet is available after I launch the app. Yeah, it just connects automatically. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's what it did. Thank you for pointing that out, though. Yeah, you have to be careful with that. Better to bookmark these, right? I was just kind of pointing out, I prefer to use the Solflare interface because you can trade on Solflare. And Solflare uses, when you go to trade, it's actually using Jupiter under the hood. So anyway, I wanted to just go through like a real world example of purchasing a meme coin on a DEX. We connected, we set up the wallet, we connected the wallet, we used our hardware device to manage the wallet. We went and bought some Solana token on Coinbase to fund our trade. And then we used that Solana to swap for the coin in question. Right? So you might ask, well, how the heck am I going to cash out Book of Meme if it moons out? How am I going to cash out? How am I going to get my money back if this coin moons out and it's worth $1,000 next week? Then what? I can't sell it on Coinbase. Coinbase doesn't support it. Well, you just do the opposite of what I did, which is we go to Book of Meme. And this time I can search for it because I have a balance now. I can verify that's it. right? We just do the opposite, right? We switch, we put Book of Meme at the top, we sell for Solana, and then we cash out the Solana on Coinbase by transferring the Solana back to Coinbase. And the idea is we'll have more Solana when we're done, right? That's the idea, right? We could have less. No, you cannot buy Bitcoin on Solflare. This is a Solana ecosystem-based wallet. There are no Bitcoin DEXs because Bitcoin does not have smart contracts built into it. Solana, Ethereum, Polygon, Cardano, all of these cryptos have smart contracts built into them or some kind of functionality. Bitcoin has a little bit of people that are sort of doing layer 2 stuff or ordinals and things like that, but there really aren't any DEXs where you can buy Bitcoin. Most of the wallets that claim you can sort of buy it from the wallet, like Ledger Live, are using third-party under the hood. Right, so Ledger Live says, "Oh yeah, you can buy Bitcoin directly in Ledger Live." Well, when you click buy, it takes you to MoonPay, and you got to sign up for MoonPay. Right, so you're actually buying it from an exchange, MoonPay, and MoonPay isn't really an exchange; it's just some kind of third-party payment processor. They're probably buying it on Binance or Coinbase or wherever they get it, and then giving it to you at a with a little fee attached. DJ Monenko, sorry to hear about that fee that you got. I love Solana till it peaks, then I dump. My opinion is that there are too many venture capital and it's fairly centralized compared to other projects. It has been accused of being too centralized. A lot of meme coins are centralized. That is true. We talked about that. I think we talked about that on Wednesday. So it's because there are just a handful of people that hold the bulk of the coins. All right. Solana is a pretty above board project, but it has been accused of being a little centralized. It is a proof of stake coin. Failure happens often on Solflare X. Yes, it does. That's why I was like prefacing all. I was really lucky that my first transaction went through. Usually, like if I can't get it done on Solflare, I'll go use it in a different browser, or I'll try it on Radium, or I'll try it on Jupyter, So luckily for me tonight, my transaction went through. Not to mention, especially when you're buying a meme coin, you're kind of setting yourself up for some kind of failure, especially if you're swapping one meme coin for another. Like for example, if I was trading Book of Meme for Bonk. Right, there's not a whole bunch of liquidity there. Now there probably is now because Solflare. There's so many people out there on Solflare or on the Solana network trading meme coins now that when you're on DEXs, there is some liquidity provided there that you can partake in. Let's see. What are your thoughts on Zeta Chain? Don't really know about that coin. It's a scam site. Rex, you clicked on the Radium sponsored Google listing. It's a scam site. I guess it was because it didn't offer me the Solflare, but the address looked the same. That was really weird. I still can't quite figure that one out. Let's try that again. Was the address that different? Ah, there it is. raydrnm.io. Ah, you are so right. We got it now, right? What we want is radium.io. Wow. Yes, thank you so much for pointing that out. Luckily for me, I didn't attempt to do any swaps. Yeah, watch out for those Google sponsored links. That it looks like the correct link here, but when we actually go to the site, then it's a misspell, right? raydrnm.io. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Thank you. I should have gone down here because I've been on this site before. But a lesson, right, on clicking links from sponsored YouTube results. And I find it pretty disgusting that Google, lets these people slip through. But they do. Cool stuff. Let me see, where are we at here? I wanted to talk more about wallets. I did want to go through this. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, thank you guys for pointing that out. The address is not the same. And do Sol and others have low withdrawal fees? Yes. Solana, Polygon, Cardano have low transfer fees and withdrawal fees from exchanges because the exchanges aren't having to pay blockchain fees, so they just pass the savings on to you. Bitcoin and Ethereum have high withdrawal and transfer fees, blockchain fees, depending on the situation and the network activity. Let me talk a little bit more. I don't have the Reddit post right here in front of me, but I was reading a long Reddit post about someone with a hardware wallet, and they were claiming that the hardware wallet had stolen their funds. And the story was that they wrote down their seed phrase. They wrote it down correctly. They swore up and down that they wrote it down correctly. And then when they did a restore, they were at a zero balance wallet. And their contention was that the hardware manufacturer had stolen his crypto. Well, obviously what he had done was he had written his phrase down wrong, or he had restored it wrong, and had restored it to a zero balance wallet. And he was told that there were a lot of, the hardware wallet manufacturer came in, I'm not going to say who it was, but they came into the Reddit discussion and said, no, our wallets we don't have your seed phrases. The wallet generates your seed phrase locally, randomly, on the fly. What you did was restore your seed phrase wrong. And a lot of people were saying, well, do you have the original address of your wallet that had a balance? Check it on the blockchain. Is it still there? Right? If you look at the blockchain address of your assets that you claim were stolen, are they still there on the blockchain? So if that's the case, then that means that you restored your wallet with an incorrect seed phrase. Now, it is a little difficult to restore a wallet with an incorrect seed phrase that doesn't throw an invalid, right? If you misspell a word or something like that, you're generally, or you've used the wrong word, you're generally going to get a message from the wallet saying this is an invalid restore phrase or seed phrase. But it is possible because a lot of wallets sort of help you along as you're entering your seed phrase, and they offer you word choices, right? So you might enter 3 letters and then you get to choose from 4 words. You might choose the wrong word and still get a valid wallet. So what I kind of wanted to talk about was how do you verify your seed phrase is in fact correct? So the idea here is that, let me go over here and we'll talk about this. Because I really can't show you this. That's the hard thing. Let's do this. All right, so the idea here is that when we buy a brand new wallet and we connect it to, we don't even have to connect it to the computer, depending on this. I think with Trezors, you do have to connect it to Trezor Suite when you're doing the setup. But when you connect the wallet, I don't have a new one here, but basically you're going to see on the device a setup screen that says like welcome to Ledger. We'll use our Ledger example. And it's going to say create a new wallet or restore from an existing wallet. So we create a new wallet, and then it's going to tell us to write down our seed phrase. So the words are going to appear on our device. We're going to use a card. Like this, to write down our words. Now, you can write down your words anywhere you want. You can write them on a piece of paper. You can use a metal medium. However you want to record your seed phrase is entirely up to you. One thing I will mention that's a really good idea, if you're going to write down a seed phrase, is to write down the name of the wallet and the date on the top, so that if you have multiple seed phrases, you won't get confused. Now, most people, they only have one hardware wallet. They're only going to write their seed phrase down one time, so it's not a big deal. But I would advise you to write the name of the device and the date at the top, just to, for your own sanity. All right, now, once you have done this, you've written down all of these words in order, and you're not sure if you've written them down correctly, but your device is now initialized, right? So how do we know that this is the correct seed phrase? Well, on Ledger, there is a little app that's pretty cool, and we can download it to our device. Right? So we connect our Ledger device to Ledger Live. We go into the My Ledger section, and where we download the Bitcoin app and the Ethereum app and all the other apps, there is a, do I have the wrong device attached here? Shouldn't. I don't think so. Is it going to give me a hard time here? Okay. All right, it worked. We can search here for Ledger. Oh, it's called Recovery Check. And this little app is a little gem that Ledger has provided for people to check their recovery phrase. So with Ledger, you can take this recovery check. Let's go over here. Whoops. I'm not going to go into it. I'm just going to show you that it exists, because once you get into it, you can't get out of it until you've completed it. So you basically go over to recovery check. If I can find it. Pretty sure I have it on here. I may not. I think it said it was on there. There it is. Okay. Now, when you click both buttons and you're in recovery check, what it's going to say is, sorry guys, once we get into the recovery check app, it's going to ask you to enter your 24 words in order. Now, you don't have to have your device connected for this. Right, if you're paranoid, right, you can, you can be running on battery power. You can have, if it's low on battery, you could have it plugged into a wall outlet, or however if you've got a USB charger. If you're paranoid, right, but you take your seed phrase and you enter each word into the recovery check app, and at the end of that process, the device will tell you whether that phrase matches what's on the device or not. So before you put any crypto in, you can run that recovery check just to verify that the device is indeed based on what you wrote down. And when you've done that, okay, well, I know I wrote all my words down correctly, right? Because the recovery check passed. Now, possible that you might have somehow, I don't know if it's very rare that you might get dyslexic and you have like word number 8 you misread and you entered it wrong on your device, but the device took it, and then when you ran recovery check, you looked at the word again. I don't know. It's pretty rare, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. But it's a pretty decent way to verify that the recovery phrase you wrote down is in fact being used by this device. Now, the other way, the manual way, the old way, is that what you do is once you have your device set up, you put a small test amount of crypto in the device. Whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, whatever it is, you transfer a small test amount of crypto into the device. Then you unplug the device, you reset the device by entering your PIN incorrectly 3 times. You use your seed phrase to do a full restore of the device. Right? You like delete Ledger Live, reinstall it, or whatever you do. Well, you have to be careful because Ledger Live might remember if you actually. So I don't know. Do a full reset of Ledger Live, and then after you've restored your device, add the account again, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana, and see if that balance is still there. That is the verification that the seed phrase you wrote down was correct. You know, a lot of people, they don't take this very seriously. They write messy. They might see a word like dog and write down dune, or they see the word done, D-O-N-E, and they write down the word D-U-N-E, or they write down done, but their O is so messy that it doesn't connect at the top, so they think it's dune. So there's so many things you can do if you're not being meticulous and careful to have the wrong seed phrase written down on your device. And written down on your card. And if you just don't realize this and go along your merry way and start dropping huge amounts of crypto into this device and then suddenly damage the device, lose the device, reset the device, and then go to restore from your incorrectly recorded seed phrase where you wrote it down hurriedly. You entered it correctly in the device, but then when you pull out your card and you're misreading, or you've written it down messy and you're not reading it correctly because you wrote it down illegibly, then you're going to get an error message. And then you're like, oh my God, you'll be unable to do the restore, or you'll be able to do the restore. It thinks it's a valid seed phrase, but it's an empty one, right? So either do the ledger recovery check after you've written down your seed phrase, or drop a small test amount in there, wipe Ledger Live off your computer, or do a Ledger Live reset. It's better because it wipes the accounts off. So what I'm talking about is over here in Ledger Live, you should go into help and do a full reset of Ledger Live. That wipes out the that will wipe out the preferences folder on your computer, because just uninstalling Ledger Live will leave the Ledger Live preferences folder in your computer. And a lot of people, when it's in your app data folder in roaming, right, the Ledger Live folder, you can see I've got other ones. I know how to manage them. But a lot of people don't realize that this folder that stays on your computer when you uninstall Ledger Live remembers the accounts you created. And if you have restored your device to a 0 seed phrase, you will still see the account in Ledger Live and think it's still there. And then someday when you go to use it, you're going to get the old oops, something went wrong when you try to connect your device, because your device is now in a wrong configuration. And they'll swear up and down, I see it in Ledger Live. Well, goody goody, you can see it in Ledger Live. But if you've wiped your device and restored incorrectly, or you've reset your device with a new seed phrase, or you've got the wrong device attached, or whatever, just seeing it in Ledger Live doesn't mean it's there. It means that you created the account based on maybe an earlier configuration, or maybe you did a passphrase. I mean, there's so many things that could possibly go wrong by looking only, and people think, oh, if it's in Ledger Live, it's on my computer. Well, no, that does. So it's a good idea. Wipe Ledger Live clean off your computer after you do that first restore, and then double check to see that your test balance is there. And then okay, I wrote down my seed phrase correctly. I've restored from it correctly. Now we can move on with our life, safe and secure. But I have seen so many problems that people have with seed phrases that they've written down incorrectly, entered into their device incorrectly, So always double check your seed phrase before putting large amounts of crypto in a hardware wallet, especially if you're new. Always good to be meticulous, right? And people blame hardware wallets for this. It's not the hardware wallet's fault, right? The hardware wallet is just doing the best it can to help you manage the blockchain. It's not perfect, right? But it is consistent if you use it correctly. So don't blame the hardware wallet if you mismanage your seed phrase. And for God's sake, don't lose your seed phrase. Last thing I'll cover. If you lose your seed phrase and you realize it, and then you still have access to your crypto, for God's sake, move your crypto somewhere safe, like an exchange or a different wallet. Wipe your Ledger Live, wipe your device, and set it up as new with a brand new seed phrase that you've written down, and then move your crypto back in. For God's sake, if you realize you've lost your seed phrase, you need to immediately clear out that wallet, transfer all of your assets off the wallet, maybe an exchange, wipe your wallet, set it up as new, write down the new seed phrase, don't lose it, and put your crypto back in there. I know it's complicated, but it's much better than limping along with, oh, gee, I don't know where that seed phrase is. I'll find it later. And then you lose your device, or your device is damaged or, locked or wiped inadvertently. I've seen that happen many times. Oh, I thought I remembered my PIN, but then I was under pressure and I was trying to do something. I was under a lot of stress and I entered my PIN incorrectly 3 times. And now I got to reset my device. I restored my device and everything's empty, right? Don't let that stuff happen to you. All right. If you have lost your seed phrase, move your crypto somewhere else, reset the wallet, restore the wallet. JDO and Dan are both here answering questions furiously. Do you get more than one seed if you have different blockchains on same wallet? No, you do not. Your hardware device relies on one master private key, and that seed phrase represents that one master private key. We talked about this earlier. I can add apps, delete apps, and not destroy the wallet. I can destroy the wallet, and the master private key will regenerate each individual blockchain that I'm managing, right? So my Solana wallet, my Cosmos wallet, my Digibyte wallet, my Polkadot wallet, they do not need their own seed phrases. Their seed phrases are based on the one seed phrase that I put in my device, that my device generates when I set it up new. Only one seed phrase for each Ledger device. Bitcoin lunch break on Saturday. It's really trying to get good at reading charts. I'm not easy. Yeah, charts. Woo. Ask Dan about charts. He knows better. Guys, I know it's getting close. It confused me that it's per device, even though you different blockchains. I'm learning. It's okay. Yeah, it's like I don't know what to compare it to, but you have a master private key on your device, and from that master private key are all the individual wallets generated. I guess it's as simple as that. It's like a branch. It's like a tree root, and then the individual crypto wallets are like branches off that main root. So if if the tree gets cut down, I don't know. The tree's not a good analogy, but that master private key will recreate the root. And all of the branches will be the same branches as before because it's the exact same root. I know that's hard to wrap your head around when I compare it to a tree, but that's kind of where we stand with that. It's more of a mathematical thing than it is like an organic thing. Anyway, guys, let's see. There's one last question. Staking algo and have earned about 100 free algo coins last year. I've not sold any algo coins that I learned from staking. Do I need to report these free coins I earned to the IRS? You know what? I am pretty sure that you do, although I am not a tax expert. I don't know if you have to. I think that we had a tax expert on last year, and she was saying that coins that come into your wallet have to be, if they're earned coins, right? Staking rewards have to be treated as purchases for the tax man. So, and you do have to pay taxes on those, which sucks. I wish that it was different. It shouldn't be that way, but as far as I know, it is. You probably would want to double check that on a tax website. Like I pointed out earlier, we talked about Coinly and we talked about CoinLedger. Both of these are great sites to help you do your crypto taxes, your capital gains taxes on your crypto by tracking all of your trades and transfers. But I think that they might also have like additional resources that you can like upgrade to get one-on-one support or that sort of thing. There are a lot of tax accountants out there that know how to deal with crypto, so you might want to check that. As far as I know, I believe TurboTax has support for crypto now, so the TurboTax may have an area where you can manage your staking rewards. And I know that TurboTax has different levels of support. You can get one-on-one support using TurboTax. So they would be able to help you with those kind of questions. They would be, much more official. So yeah, you can do TurboTax, and it helps, and it does crypto. You can do it standalone within the app, I believe, if you're savvy, or you can actually get help, and they'll connect you with someone that'll help walk you through the process. So that's my tax advice for you guys. Let's see. I want to thank everyone for being here. Go Michigan, although I think the football season is over now. But thank you so much, Kenny, as always, for being here early and all the news stories. Thank you, Dan and JDO, for moderating. I'm going to have to go back through all of the, I know I missed a lot of questions. I was talking a lot tonight, going through a lot of stuff. I hope that it was helpful. And if you had questions that I missed, and I hope that Dan or JDO helped you with those. If you asked a question and I did not get to your question, by all means, shoot me an email, thecryptodad@gmail.com. One word, thecryptodad@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. I would be happy to help you, walk you through your question if I did not get to it. Don't feel left out and frustrated if I missed your question. Shoot me an email. Thank you, Cass, Kathy for becoming a member. I really appreciate it. Asil, thanks for that donation. Kathy also donated tonight. Thank you for that. Julia 8 donated tonight. Thank you so much. I know Bobby also donated. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone that joined the live stream. Thank you, all of you who asked questions. Thank you that just came in and watched. I really appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed this live stream, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click where you can be alerted whenever I post new content. Also, I will be here again next Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan. Keep an eye out on Wednesday mornings, Eastern Standard Time, somewhere between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. I usually do a Wednesday live stream that's only about an hour where we focus on hardware wallets. So please join me for that as well. I want to thank again everyone that was here tonight, and hope you have a great weekend.